Hey, good afternoon, folks. Happy Wednesday. Happy July 19th.
How's everybody doing?
How's everybody's summer going?
Okay, so we're going to get right into this. This is the political show. What I want to show you basically is what our president looks like to the rest of the
What
world.
our countries look like.
Yes. And now I'm going to use Australian news and Great Britain news today, just to give you an idea of what these are actually allies of ours. These aren't people who don't like
Not
us.
our enemies, right? They're
They
our allies.
like us. So without further ado, let me just throw this up.
And they're laughing now.
Bear with me because I'm technically.
We're not all technically
Yeah,
up to
I'm not
date.
really a big technical guy, so
Yeah,
I'm going to try
remember,
to make this
we're
happen.
dumbasses. Remember that.
Here we go, and let's start now.
This past week. Now, I know everyone doesn't always believe everything they see on the internet, but far too many do. But look at this. It takes it to a whole new level, and it reveals everything that is wrong with woke influencer culture. This so-called influencer was busted pretending to pick up rubbish on the beach. Here she is. She's been filmed by a friend appearing to fill up a garbage bag. But then, moments later, the camera's turned off, and both the women can be seen leaving the bags on the sand.
Oh my God.
About their day. About that.
Because this way what they can do is they can put it up on the internet and look like good
Tending to
people.
be something they're not on the internet. We'll keep highlighting them here. Speaking of phonies, let's chase to the leader of the free world. This is either an optical illusion or it's a classic government rent-a-crowd. Now look, this is Joe Biden. He's walking off stage after his 4th of July address. And look as he walks by the crowd of people supposedly there to support him. They're all holding up their phones. If you look closely, it looks as though the phones aren't even turned on. You can't make this stuff up, honestly. And speaking of Biden, we all know he's made some seriously weird comments in his time, but I may have found one.
Phones don't even on.
Have a look. Yeah, I don't know what to say about that. He's missed too many children, that man. But to leave you with a bit of a laugh, have you ever wanted to learn how to breakdance? Here's a masterclass in just 5 seconds.
You gotta love this show. This is the news, by the way. All right, so let's take this out of here now. Okay, so we're back.
You can't make this up, people.
Now that's what Australia thinks of our president. All right, just to give you a rough idea.
They're laughing at our country.
Yeah, this is Great Britain now. I'm going to give you a little Great Britain. Hang on one second. I just wanted to.
But they're laughing at it in a joke way because, like I said, they're not our enemies. Now just think of our enemies watching this.
Hang on, it'll come on in a second. My equipment is rather outdated, but keep in mind we do this for nothing. So
We're outdated too.
okay, we may have some issue with this one. I'm not sure. All right, I'm going to pull it out.
If you thought Joe Biden's cognitive issues were the greatest cause for concern, think again. Here is extraordinary footage of the confused leader of the free world on the tarmac of Helsinki airport, effectively harassing a little girl, strangely pretending to bite at her, and then attempting, and I can't believe I'm saying these words, to sniff her hair. Take a look at creepy Uncle Joe in action.
I apologize for the technical difficulties. I just have outdated equipment. The kid looks horrified.
It's that sniff at the end that really does it for me.
Okay, so let's pop that out of there.
Hey, people, that's your said president.
That's what they think of us. They think we have a pedophile for a president.
And really,
A senile pedophile.
It could be.
Nonetheless.
I mean, come on, who sniffs children's hair?
But it's not even just children.
He does women.
He's done it to a senator's wife.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He's done it to Hillary Clinton. I mean, there's.
Eva Longoria.
But Hillary Clinton was the best. Hillary Clinton, she tried to get him to let go, like countless times, literally countless times.
Yeah, she tried to push him away.
Find it.
Yeah.
But it's just crazy. I mean, you could see she was like tapping out. Well, no, that was Eva Longoria. She was literally tapping out. She was tapping him like on the chest, like this, like
let go of him.
Yeah, like it's enough, you know.
U.S. President Joe Biden kicked off his re-election campaign last week, but in true Biden style,
I'll pull it up right now and show you.
Watch some of his videos.
But I mean, Hillary Clinton was really creepy.
Yep.
That was really, really super creepy. Let me see if I can get
the man is a creepy dude.
I mean,
we told you a while back to go through his videos and look at Uncle Creepy Joe Biden.
Well, what about what he told that 11-year-old that she wasn't supposed to get serious with the guy until she was 30? She was supposed to. Another one, he pointed to like a 10-year-old in the audience and said she looked like she was 19. Hang on a second. Let's see.
He ain't a perv though, right, people? Yeah, okay. Yeah, he has no signs of a perv.
I'm trying. I don't know who put this up, but I'm only using it for a moment. So
if you look at her face, she's kind of saying, "Help me!"
Yeah, look, it's unbelievable.
She's like, "Help me!"
I don't know why it hasn't come up yet, but there it is. And I mean, if you look, that's not like a
just
hug.
look at her face.
Like, you know, when you hug somebody, the arms don't go to under the breast like that. You know, you're not lifting the woman off the floor. You're just hugging her. You know, usually a man's hands go over and her hands go around his lat, latissimus, or like, you know, just above the belly.
There are hugs where you just throw up your arms and go for it, and then there are hugs that keep going and going and going.
Watch this. So that's a real normal hug. Now watch the arms. Watch how the arms start to lift her up. Look. Now he pulled her in. He pulled her right against him.
They semi-disengage. Nothing to see here,
look,
right?
He just pulls her in tight. Yeah, and you look right there. If you can back that up, you'll see his hips actually go into hers.
Notice how many times she tries to tap out. She lets it go.
Watch this.
She does not.
1.
Let's tap out. No, she's just no,
2.
She's still holding on.
3.
Second tap out, for God's sake.
That's the third. 4.
This latest awkward hug would not have been microanalyzed if it hadn't been for all the other overly handy.
The man thinks who he is. He's an eagle.
This is CNN, by the way.
Times when he gently rearranges
look what he's doing to this young girl. Look.
Then rearranges some more. There's nothing pervy here. The VP knows he's on camera at these swearing-in ceremonies, and the parents are right there.
Look at that girl.
Yeah,
she's moving away.
The VP is known as a close talker. He even does it to the president. Perhaps his most famous hands-on moment came when
this was crazy.
Hands on the wife of Defense Secretary Ash Carter.
Got a lot of thanks to give out.
Conservatives panned it.
Hey, this is the creepiest thing.
So did some liberals.
No, that ain't right, man. That ain't right.
That's right.
Appeared to smell her hair.
At least the VP didn't get that close to Hillary. Now Hillary and President Obama have come a long way in there.
Hey people, this is your president.
Just an idea of what's going on. That last one was the United States, and it was CNN.
Now, can you imagine? Yeah, I don't know me. If I was did that to my wife or something, I think you've been on the floor.
Yeah, especially that Ashcroft one. Yeah, that was crazy.
I'm sorry.
That was absolutely insane.
I don't care who you are.
Anyway, okay, so
you don't come up to nobody else's wife and sniff her hair and touch her. Get out of here.
That's just an idea of what the world thinks of us. Okay, as far as they're concerned, we have some sort of a dead puppet in there. We're literally, he's absolutely right. We're laughing stock.
We're laughing stock. You know what's funny too, real quick? He just had a physical. His doctor just gave him a physical and said he was okay.
He wasn't just okay. He was full of vigor. He was full of vigor.
Yeah.
And he had. There was something else. It was. He was full of vigor, and he had. I don't remember what the other thing was. They basically were describing like a 16-year-old football player.
Right. Now
But
who's evaluating this guy?
well, no. Now here's the thing about it. They only let out the physical. They didn't do a mental physical.
Right, and we all know
Okay.
the man ain't there.
So that's kind of what they were trying to avoid.
Just as to his speech with the Israeli, right?
Well, you know what it is.
He mumbles. He's falling asleep.
You're absolutely correct. But all you have to do is look at his walk, his gait. His gait is a shuffle, and it's a lot like if you remember the old Carol Burnett show with Tim Conway, when he would do Mr. Tudball or the old guy with the whacked out hair, and he would just take like literally 2-inch steps.
Yep.
And that's what you're dealing with. Only, like, he wasn't president. This guy has the ability to blow up the world. I mean, think about that, the world.
And he can.
All he has to do is have one imaginary moment that will back up Pearl Harbor. And forget it, the world is done. And on top of that, here's the deal, okay? Think of it like this: if you don't think he's corrupt, okay, and anyone who doesn't, if you don't feel he's corrupt, do me a favor. And this has nothing to do with partisan, by the way.
Nope.
This is why I think he's corrupt. Not because, again, as I said in the past, I'm independent. So I just want the best person.
Right. We just want the vote to be there.
I just want the best person in that
Right.
office. But if you don't think he's
Right.
corrupt, I'm going to run something by you real quick. And these are facts. This is not something I'm just throwing out there as an insult or anything else.
Facts, man.
Right, just the facts. A senator makes about $150,000 a year.
Wow.
About that, maybe 175, depending on where you're at and whatnot. But a senator makes about $150 a year. Now, this man has never done anything else. Has no other source of income
Nothing.
except politics. His entire life. I mean, like
He's a senator.
you could say Trump had real estate. He had this, that.
Excuse me.
DeSantis was in the army, and then he had other things going on. They had other things going on. This man has never done anything except politics. Think about that first off.
He did nothing.
So if he started out, at the lowest point, let's say 150,000, the president I only think makes like 400,000 or something like that. I could be off on that. I'm just throwing it out there. But somehow this man has over 3 homes. He's worth over $40 million. And it's a hell of a lot more than that. They just can't figure out how much more. There's nobody that makes $150,000 and has to pay bills gets to save up $40 million.
Nope. No.
It's not even investments. Like with Pelosi. Pelosi, you can look at that from another corruption aspect.
Too, right? Husband.
She knew what type of policies were going to be put into place and stuff. And she let her husband know. In fact, there's a site that says Invest with Paulie, I think it's called. And what somebody does is they look up Paul's investments for the day, and they put it up there, and you're supposed to invest with it because he doesn't lose. He's the luckiest man who ever invested. Okay, so that I understand because at least he's got the investments going up.
Yeah.
Granted, as corrupt as they are, because he probably got insider information.
Nope.
But at least his is explained. There's no explanation to Joe. There's no explanation to how Joe's family got this amount of money. None. I agree with you. I know what you're saying, that it's an explanation. But it's not, it's really, it's not even an explanation.
Think about it, people.
It's basically just somebody gave him money to do something.
Think about it.
And they're not giving him millions of dollars like that to do menial tasks. Whatever it is, I'm sorry, excuse me, I'm a little tired. Whatever it is, it's going to be pretty
damn big.
Yeah, pretty damn big. Yeah. You're talking about $5, $6 million, $10 million, $20 million. They're up to I think, I don't even know, 75 million at this point that they put together that he's been given, that his family's been given over time.
His family. How about it'd be nice to have your family have that, huh?
Yeah, and actually...
And do nothing?
The funny part about it
is... do nothing.
Well, to tell you the truth, the funny part is, if you look, when he first came into office, there was a Chinese... there was a bill going on about China where Trump had just put it into place, where he was taxing them correctly.
Oh,
for the first time in history.
I
forget what it was. I forget the name of it.
Tariffs and all
that,
right?
I you know what it is? I keep getting that Accord one.
Oh, okay.
But it's not it. It's the China something or other. And what he did was he was charging them the taxation that they were charging us. The very first thing Joe did when he walked into that office was shut that down. and we stopped getting taxes from them.
They
But
gotta
yet
figure out why, people.
but they charge us over 100% taxes
Right.
on our goods sold there.
Now, what my brother just said here, Trump was trying to make it fair, where they should pay their share.
Yep.
But no, now Joe comes in. Think about it.
Trump even went a little further, and he told some of the Europe is a great example.
Yes.
Europe is about the same size as us, more or less, give or take. And he turned around to them and he said, listen, if you're not paying your fair share, we're not going to protect you with NATO. It's
Right.
just, there's no reason that we have to pay 10, 20, 30, 100 times more than you, and you're still going to get the same protection. That doesn't make sense.
Nope. Everybody has to pay their fair
And
share.
the next thing out of their mouth was, it's okay, sir, we'll pay.
And they did.
And they did. And then Mexico's another one. He turns around to Mexico and he said,
Yeah.
well, everybody turns around and goes, oh, Mexico didn't pay for the wall, blah, blah, blah. They did. You just don't realize it because you're too stupid to realize it. And the reason I say that is because you assume that, Juan Valdez, the coffee guy, was going to walk up to Trump and hand him $8 billion. That's not the way it works.
It's the coffee.
What he did was he increased tariffs, he increased taxes, and so forth.
Right.
And now here's where the
Which is a smart thing to do.
here's where the big payment comes in. Okay, he had Mexican soldiers aid us at the border, while Mexico paid the soldiers. We didn't. So that right there was paying for the actual wall. The other thing about the wall, as long as I got it, I might as well just go with it.
Might as well go with the wall.
They have the nerve to turn around and say that he only built 55 miles of wall. But what they don't realize is that, I'm saying they don't realize it because I'm sure they actually do realize it. They just want to try to ignore this. But if you were walking along the line of this wall and you saw a piece of wood on the floor with no wall, you mark down it's a wall because there's a piece of wood there. So what he did was he repaired all of those walls as well, and it came out to close to 500 miles of wall. So what they're talking about just really is a bunch of crap, and that's what I kind of expected from them, to be honest. I wish they would just produce facts and give everybody a way to weigh things out
and think.
Yeah.
That's what we're here for too. We're just giving you facts out there for 2024. Because can you imagine this man again?
Oh God.
He fell asleep.
Listen, 4 more years of this guy, and the world will not make a comeback. You can forget it. Okay, at that point, we might as well just become China and get it over with.
Yep.
Okay, so
Eddie Wong, Cherry Chang.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's how it's going to be.
Well, actually, in China, the last name comes first, so it'll be Wong Eddie.
Oh, Ling Curry.
Right, there you go. Now you got it. That's
it. I got this.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just the way they work.
But that's the way it's going to work, people.
It's like they read up to down instead of side to side.
Think about it. Look what they want to do. And not even that. The smartest president here.
I'm so tired.
Just told the world that we're low.
Yeah, on ammunition. Can you believe that? Hey, listen, do you guys ever watch Gunsmoke? You ever see it when
the rifleman Gunsmoke over them?
You ever see when they get the bad guy trapped in like the bar or the saloon or something like that? And there's like 4 or 5 of them outside and they're shooting in and the guy's shooting back and all of a sudden you hear click, 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 click. That's when they go and get the people. Okay, because they know they're out of ammunition and they can't fight back. You never tell an enemy.
You never tell anybody. Yeah, he just told our enemies now.
That's just beyond absurd.
So hold on tight, people.
Why?
Oh, shit.
I don't know.
Hold on tight.
I just can't take much more of this guy. This guy's killing me. He really is.
Killing everybody.
Between prices, between Biden, between Hunter Biden, between Joe Biden, Jim Biden, Khaleesi Biden, whatever.
The Biden's got to go.
It's ridiculous. It's absolutely absurd.
Because if they don't, they'll be the only ones left in this country.
Yep. Well,
we won't have nothing.
Really, he should change his name to Wang because he's owned by China.
Yeah.
Actually, I think Wang would be, maybe it would be Chinese.
He might be his brother.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was Japanese or Chinese.
But this is very sad where we're at right now, people. So 24 is coming very shortly.
Yeah, this has just gotten to be insane.
Use your head.
So,
besides keeping those ears apart.
So now you have an idea of what we look like to the world, okay?
Yeah, they're laughing at us.
And it's not like you can't turn around and say, oh, well, they're Republicans. They're not.
They're not.
They're not.
They're not. They're just in another country watching what we're doing.
They're not Americans.
Right.
They have no skin in this game.
No, they're just watching what we're doing.
They couldn't even vote for Biden if they wanted to.
Nope.
So you're hearing a totally non-biased, balanced, view of what they see.
Of the news, right? They're speaking facts. I mean, look, they just showed him sitting there talking to the Israel Prime Minister.
Yeah, it was like this.
Reading cards and falling asleep, mumbling. You know what would be funny?
He looked like he was praying.
As a matter of fact, you ever see the people on the side that they can't speak and they do the
yeah.
She did it twice because he mumbled.
Yeah.
She had to go like this.
The hearing impaired people. Yeah, I know.
Because he fucking mumbles.
It's crazy, man.
Oh, man. This man, forget about it.
And you got also, I'm going to go one more thing better. So I don't know if you heard about this deal that Hunter was getting for the $2 million he owed in back taxes and the gun, right? Okay. Well, dig this, okay? So Jill Biden was initially Joe Biden's nanny, okay, or babysitter, whatever you want to call it. She was married, okay, to a gentleman, and that gentleman happened to owe $8,000 in taxes, not $2 million. Didn't have a gun issue. $8,000 in taxes.
8,000 people.
Okay, now Hunter Biden is $2 million and lied on a firearms permit.
Doing 170 miles an hour.
But I'm not even going there. I mean, that's just. I'm just saying what they got him on.
Right.
I'm really talking about what this deal they're giving him is, and they're giving him probation, and some other crappy stuff like maybe community service. Maybe I'm not even sure about that.
Probably not.
Anyway, Jill Biden's ex-husband, who Joe Biden was with her while they were together, got 8 years. 8 years for $8,000.
$1,000 a year.
8 years.
It's insane.
Now you tell me that somebody didn't have their hand on the scale a little bit. Okay, so
why should a man like that get 8 years?
8 years, come
on. And Hunter Biden is getting probation.
Please.
Probation for millions of dollars and a gun.
Yeah, so
two.
Yeah, so you got to look at what we're dealing with in that office, and please. I just implore you to do one thing. Before you vote for him, do your research on him. See, this man is nothing more than a racist, and he is absolutely racist.
He is a racist. He really is.
Oh, yeah. You want to talk hypocrisy? Let's talk hypocrisy.
He really is.
Did anybody get to see him when he was saying that, if any of you, my staff, treats any other of my staff less than human and gets out of line, you'll be fired immediately.
Right.
No ifs, ands, or buts, right?
If anybody in his staff does this.
Yeah. Meanwhile, he's
abusing his staff.
He's the biggest abuser going.
Right.
Look it up. Look it up.
Look it up. He's a bully.
So I mean,
they don't even. His staff don't even want to go into the office by themselves.
Right? Yeah, they want to bring an extra person as a shield.
Because he
goes
after them. Like they're a child or something.
Really?
Then again, be careful. He might sniff you.
This man is I'm sorry. Excuse me. This man is exactly what Hillary said, which is deplorable. She was 100% right in his case.
In his case. I mean, think about it. People, the facts are there. So, what my brother's telling you here, 2024, do your research.
Just do your research.
Don't listen to people out there that just because they have hatred.
Do
your research.
If after you do your research, you still want to vote for him,
that's your opinion.
All means, have fun with it.
Have fun.
But please, just don't even follow what I say. Okay, don't follow what he says.
No. Just
don't
do your research.
Do any of that.
Do your research.
Do your own research, please.
That's all you got to do.
Don't believe me. Don't believe him. Don't believe Adam Schiff. Don't believe
anybody.
Believe your own eyes and ears.
Right.
Okay.
That's right. It's right there in front of you, people.
Right.
Look at it.
I will say this: please try to use around the world view. No, I was actually going to say around the world news. As opposed to the United States.
Yeah, like this Australia one.
In the United States, you're always going to get some sort of partisan play. Either the Democrats are going to dislike something because of this.
Right.
The Republicans are going to like something for that. Forget all that. Get that right out the window.
Watch world news somewhere else.
Yeah, just watch it from the world and see what the world thinks. Because they have no skin in the game.
And right now, we just showed you, Australia laughs at us.
And I swear to you, I'm not kidding when I tell you, that was the tip of the iceberg. I could literally do a show 7, 8, maybe 10 hours long on just what Sky News says. Okay, so
that was just a little clip.
That was just to give you an idea. I mean, if you want more of it, I can do more of it.
You haven't seen anything yet.
Yeah, we're going to pop off, and we're going to leave the politics now for a little while. And I think the next show we're going to do in a few minutes would be like a little more topical and a little bit. Someone had asked me if I would give my opinion on homeless and that sort of thing, and if I had any sort of idea, because I don't know if you guys checked out the first few shows we did, but I gave a couple of ideas that were.
Good ideas too.
You think they were good? I think okay. So
I'll
give you they're a little outrageous, but some of them okay. But like that water pipeline idea, I'm sorry, it's one of the best ideas I've ever heard, and it's my idea. We have an oil pipeline that we have to worry if something leaks or anything because we'll have an ecological disaster.
Look at the forest fire we just had.
I say put a water pipeline across the United States up to the highest mountain.
How about into Canada now, since we got all that
even Canada. I mean, think about what it would have done if there were if
we
a pipeline went across Canada,
at the border, right?
Like at the highest point in the mountains, closest to the border.
See,
if we could have just unleashed water, just to wet everything, not even just to wet everything down.
It would have dampened it, right? It would have dampened it.
It would have been worth it. And if there's ever a mess up, okay, so it leaks. It's water. Who cares? Who cares?
Better than oil.
You know what I mean? It may leak. Okay, big deal. It could leak the whole time it's in existence.
Right.
It's not going to hurt anything.
Not going to hurt no one, right?
But if we can get a huge amount of water to these areas that are so dry, and we're getting these wildfires in, maybe we can save some people, some wildlife, some
houses,
trees, some houses,
everything.
And it's not that big of a deal.
In air quality. How about the air quality?
Right. Try to think about how much it costs the insurance industry to rebuild all of this stuff. It gets into the trillions.
Meanwhile,
billions.
You can spend billions, maybe millions of billions of doing this.
And really, truly, it's not even that. You could do it with scrap because it's water. It doesn't have to have all of these. It doesn't have to have the degree of
all those handles and all
that
shit.
It's just got.
All you need is one handle to turn it on.
Just think of a huge freaking hose that goes across the United States.
That's it.
With different areas that's gonna let the water out. That's it. And I mean, it's never gonna harm anybody. That's the other thing. The other thing about it is, every year at the levees, the water flows over the levees and floods that area. So if we could somehow pull that water up to California, up to the mountains
like all that floods that's coming in,
as flood, take it right out and wet down all of that area, wet down all of that land, and just keep drawing it out. So we keep the levees at bay.
Right. Meanwhile, when it was overflowing, nobody would get hurt.
So that's probably the only idea I really, truthfully love that I have. And I've had that.
Makes sense, people. Think about it.
Yeah, I've thought about this idea since I'm probably about in my 20s. And it's something I've never let go of. And I just don't understand why somebody hasn't thought of it already. But
it makes sense if you think about it.
The whole thing is, it doesn't hurt. It's not going to hurt it.
No, it doesn't hurt to try.
And all you got to do is take some of these. I mean, really and truly, because it's water, you could do it with soda bottles, melted soda bottles, the same way we make fleece clothing. So instead of doing a thin like soda bottle thing, make it like that. I know. Can you see that? Let's say, make it like that thick of a wall, clear, just plastic.
So the water come out.
So the water can come out. If it
plastic tubing.
Right, exactly, like a big plastic tubing. The same way you would have. I don't know if you ever seen those guys skateboarding in a pipe where they go up and they go back and forth. Where they go up and down like that.
Oh yeah.
You can do a pipe that size, all plastic. Meanwhile, you'd empty out at least half of your friggin' landfills with all the plastic you'd use to go across the United States.
I mean, think about it. People, make sense.
There's so many ways to do it. You can literally do it with glass even, because if it broke, it doesn't matter.
And think about it.
So
like you just
styrofoam. You could do it with a styrofoam barrier on the outside and get rid of the styrofoam that's never going to be recyclable.
My brother just said here, does it hurt to try?
Yeah, and in this particular case, it wouldn't hurt because it's just water. Anyway, we're going to go to our next show now.
See you in a bit, people.
I hope you enjoyed this one, and we really love doing it for you. See you later, guys.
See you in a bit.
Later.